under eye circles, color correction, and skin tone, and how to get all of this together. Let's discuss. Hello guys, I'm Well, welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for watching this video already. So today I'm going to discuss the color correction and things that are important to know about the under eye circles and how to approach them basically. And the first part, I'm gonna be talking about the causes and types, and in the second part it will be a bit of demonstration, so let's start. Under eye circles generally is a discoloration because the skin under eyes is very thin, so they just appear. Sometimes it can be genetic, sometimes it can be just different color because we are not uniform in color. Human beings are not perfect. In genetic types, it can be because of the skull and facial structure that you have. So I have a deep set eyes and I do have under eye circles because of the hollows of my eyes are right there. I cannot do anything with the texture or positioning of my facial structure, but I can do something with the color, as you can see here. It's less prominent on this side because this is already corrected, while this one is still plain. So what colors can be your under eye circles really? It can be blue, purple blue, blue-green, purple, brown, and black sometimes. It's rarely. Maybe mostly because of your mascara smudges. And to color correct that, I'm attaching the color wheel right here. To color correct that, we need to use the opposite colors of the wheel. So for the purple one, it's gonna be yellow, and for the blue, it's gonna be orange. However, everything is not as easy as it seems. When you use the plain color, it's not the one that you need. So our skin tone is a mix of different colors, of three primary colors: yellow, red, and blue, as well as white and black into it. So the more white you have, the lighter you are in skin tone. The more black you have, the darker you are in skin tone. This is just how it works. It's a simple color theory, and a lot of artists already know about that, as they are able to draw skin tones. But majority of folks, like I was before, are not aware of this thing, but it really helps to understand how things work. So some artists actually can color mix and color match your skin tone to create your specific skin. This is great, but this is not for everyone. And we are usually searching for something that represents us. That's why the cosmetic industry should have this inclusivity of things, because it's just a mix of pigments. It's not a rocket science. Just mix pigments in a specific amount, add more black to it or add more red. You have a variety. You can have it pretty much for yourself. Generally, we are searching for products that are really good, that are already tested out, loved by many, and that are generally matching us best. So this is one of the reasons why I love MAC Cosmetics. They have these wonderful palettes that are just concealer palettes, basically. I have them in light to medium, as you can see here, and deep with extra deep. I want to have variety. Sometimes I do some works as makeup artist, and I want to provide opportunity for any client, any person, any model who comes to photo shoot and to work with me to be matched. So I do mix the custom skin tones as well, but I need, of course, to have these cream colors in order to achieve that. So here in itself, let's take the light. I'm light, so I'm taking light. Let's take this as an example. This already contains pale yellow and pale pink. They are these two top colors, and these are the ones that you color correct with. So you need to find your skin and your undertone. Undertone is determined by different factors, but in most cases it's just a pigment that you have in your skin that is higher amount than the others. So if you have a neutral skin, that means that your yellow, red and blue, like red and blue approximately in the same amount because they cancel each other, and yellow more, and then you have your skin tone verified by black or white. So if you would come to some art class and you will be asked to mix your skin, you would use a bit of white, a bit of yellow, a bit of blue. So you need to create something in the beige range as far as these colors actually create brown. So if you mix, let me just show you. I have this palette. This is a paint stick by MAC. You don't have to have this palette to create something. It's just the grease paint generally. And I will take a bit of yellow, for example, like this, a bit of blue. If you mix them together, you get green. And green is the color that neutralizes by red, or opposite, the red is neutralized by green. If you added a bit more red, it's gonna be more purple, so you need to balance it out, and it's a process. It's fun and it's very creative activity to do. So I'm basically mixing in yellows and blues until I get something more or less neutral. So if you add the black to the mix, you will get more darker skin tones. If you add white to the mix, you get the light skin tones because it's basically just a beige. I need quite a bunch of white because I'm so light in color. And when I'm starting mixing the white in, you will see what I mean. So this is somewhat gray, which means I need to add more yellow to it. And this is how the skin tones can be matched. So when I see the person who's coming to the photo shoot, I'm trying to analyze the approximation. So I know, for example, that the person is medium skin toned, a bit more tanned, and I'm trying to see which is the primary color for them. Is it yellow, or is it blue, or is it red? Most of us actually have more yellow than anything else, and warm skin tone is something that is generally more often happening. But yeah, all people are just a mix of colors. All skin tones is just a mix of colors. So as you can see, this already looks a lot like my skin, and it almost completely matches me, especially under this light, but this light is very bright. So this is how you actually match the skin tone. This is very interesting. You can try it out. It's even like generally grease paints from somewhere. It's just an exercise to do if you want to. So I know that I've used a bunch of yellow, but I know also that there is a bunch of red. So not so much blue, but a bit more red. Because the red is primary for me, I'm cool toned. I have a pink undertone, and this is what makes me cool toned. I'm very thankful that I found the exact products to match me, but sometimes you can be a bit more olive in skin tone, which means you have blue and yellow more than you have red, and sometimes you can be neutral, which means you are practically equal in amounts of blue, red and yellow, and you can be more yellow, more warm. So this is how everything is just mixed together. From here, when you found out, for example, that you have a bit more red than you have blue, you can see which your undertone is. From the undertone, a lot of things depend on other stuff. So I'm light, I'm not very light. So there are still people that are whiter than me. I'm light. So to color correct myself, the best way for me is to take medium. So to color correct my under eye circles, I would actually use medium palette. As you can see, there is a pale mid peach, it's called. So mid peach is gonna be the color for me to color correct. And as far as this palettes I'm using mostly for my clients and for the works with them, I prefer to leave them as is because I have my own stash of makeup. So you need a very good pigmented concealer, because if you don't take the pigmented one, then you're basically not getting the good coverage that you need. What I found is that IT Cosmetics produces very nice under eye full coverage anti-aging waterproof concealer. This is not an ad, this is something that I discovered by myself, and I really like this one, both its formula and how it corrects everything. So it is called Corrector in French. And this guy is medium beige, so my original tone is going to be the light beige because I have beige in it. Beige has a bit of pink, that's why it's beige. And medium beige is the one that will correct the things that I need to hide. Because if we want to cover under eyes, we need to hide them. And to hide, we need to use a darker color. The same with contour. If you want to make something pop, then you use the lighter color. That's why concealer in lighter color is not gonna do much for you to make it look natural. So what I like to do is take this concealer, squeeze about 1 millimeter of the product and place few dots under my eyes. And then I'm taking the Zoeva Concealer Buffer. This is a great brush and you can use fingers. Fingers are very underrated tool and I really love to use them. But this time it's just a brush and I'm starting to dabbing this concealer under my eyes, and I'm not bringing it too high up because it does not really matter at this point. And also you have the eyelid in here, so it's a bottom lid. You don't need to have a product on it. You need to stretch things out from the darkest area into where you don't really need it anymore. So I'm stretching out the concealer and I'm using the finger to just blend it a bit for the lower lid. As you see, it's already pretty good, but if you see me in not such a bright light, but in like daylight, then you will notice that it's off by the color, unfortunately, because it's medium. It's darker than I am. And in order to fix this, now I can conceal with my skin color. So I'm matched with vanilla in NARS. This is a soft matte complete concealer, and I've been using it a lot already. This is 6.2 grams and it's great stuff. It's worth a lot. It's really good. And I'm just taking a bit onto the flat brush and I'm applying it where the edge, because I have deep set eyes, I have this edge of the eye and the face where these things start, and I'm applying it at the edge. I'm also using it to cover my pimples. Nobody needs to see that stuff. I'm sorry that you had to see it before. And from here I can take the same concealer brush and just blend things out in the same manner, very lightly. This is very sensitive area, you have to be very light-handed with it. So I'm bringing it up to the corner here and then I'm blending things away. This is not gonna change my facial structure. My deep hollows of the eyes are still gonna be seen in different angles. This is totally normal. But when you're looking in front of me, especially when you're taking pictures, this is gonna be very uniform in color canvas, which is exactly what we want. This is something that you can highlight things that you love and you can hide things that you don't really like. So this is a color correction, and this was a crash course on mixing the skin colors and what they are consisting of. I really hope that it was somewhat useful for you and the explanation was good enough, because sometimes I'm not very good with explanations. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If it helps you, please give me a comment down below. I would really love to see or hear from you if that is something useful, because I have other topics to cover and hopefully it will be good for some people. It's a new knowledge to share, which I enjoy. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.